morning.
Oh man,
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
sound tired, boss.
Boss, he tired. A one, two. A 1, 2. First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
One day we're going to be on the First Sky stage. The whole crowd going to say, in the morning.
Hey.
Check 1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 2.
All systems go. How you sound over there, buddy?
Hello.
Yes. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners. Man, it is Monday, August the 7th, 2023. How y'all feeling this morning? And thanks for coming in. I see you guys come. Yes, the mic is sounding good. The timing's better. We got the internet working right.
And you know what, Paul? I think the buzzing is gone.
Nah.
I don't hear it. I don't hear it.
As long as you don't hear it. I hear it. Brother Sanchez is summing it up nice for us. Mic sounds nice. Check 1. My mic sounds nice. Check 2. Are you ready?
Hey.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining us in this 50th year of hip hop. We appreciate you joining us on Monday, August the 7th, 2023. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
That's right, Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. All of you radio listeners, let us know how the mix was this morning, and if you're with us over there, the 630 crew, love to hear from you. And yeah, man, I think we got our technical difficulties worked out today. So thanks for everybody that was bearing with us last week. And the weeks prior, because we it's always a challenge. Like every day we set up and say, you gonna work right today, Tech? And Tech says, maybe today.
Maybe.
Yeah. How are you guys doing? Let us know in the chat. Leia Keister gives us our first magnificent Monday to all. Appreciate that. Pops gives us a good morning, First Sky. Good morning to you. He says, you both sound marvelous. Good. I'm glad we're coming in smooth this time. And I feel like the timing's back, too. The internet is not lagging on the timing yet.
Oh, yeah, like butter, baby.
Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning over there on Facebook. Brooke Allen says, good morning. Good morning to you, too. Brother Sanchez says, my daughter turns 21 today. Say what?
Okay.
Man.
Happy birthday to
Man, Amir Sanchez, I thought you was about 25. So how you got 21? Goodness. Judy Privilege says, morning, family. Also, Pop says, they're saying good morning to each other. That's what's up. 216 subscribers.
Okay.
4 new for this season. Appreciate that very much. We're going to do a little kickoff this season, too, to really kind of up the subscription situation over there. We found out that if the goal is 500. If you have 500 YouTube subscribers now, it used to be 1,000, but they narrowed it down. They cut it down to 500. In order to get to a certain level on YouTube where you can monetize, you can do all the things that you do to really push your YouTube channel. So that's our next goal is 500 people on YouTube. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend.
Halfway there.
Halfway there, though. Yeah, man. Just organically from people telling a friend, which is different, So we're going to add a little advertising on top of that, see if we can boost the numbers up.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
keep running into ghost listeners all over town. They're telling me who
Read
we
my mind.
definitely got a lot of ghost listeners, man. A lot more ghost listeners really than chat chimers. I couldn't imagine how the show would be if all the ghost listeners chimed into the chat at the same time
Oh
too.
man, yeah, yeah, to be active. I don't think we'll be able to get to everything, but we appreciate everybody. I had
Yeah.
the same experience. Was talking to somebody on Instagram the other day, and she was like, "Yeah, I heard of you guys. I follow you guys." I'm like, "What?
Yeah, it's a trip.
All right,
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, so we appreciate all the love. Like I said,
man.
we haven't put really in any effort into doing any kind of like organized marketing of this, and so this has all been word of mouth, building a family, which is the best way. Word of mouth is the best way when you're trying to build some like minded family,
Mm-hmm.
discussion going on. So that's good, but we also want to spread this out to as many people as possible, get as many voices in as we can, until the point at which I gotta go. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't read all the chats.
Man.
I'm sorry I missed you. We want to get to that
Mm-hmm.
point because we got that much discussion going on. So tell a friend, share the show if you would on your Facebook page, your YouTube channel. Share the show. We're gonna get into a lot of cross promotion going on, man.
Man.
Our class Monday went really. I mean, Saturday went really well. The first content creators class went well, and I found out there's like, well, besides Whitney Richardson who showed up, she has that politically what's the name of her podcast? I can't think of the name right now. It's too early.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get that name. Go ahead and give
Yeah,
her some love.
yeah. I'm gonna do that because I found out there's two other people that got YouTube channels and podcasts going on too that came to the class. So it's like, okay, let's get everybody's podcast information, everybody's show information. And I believe that Whitney Richardson is also getting ready to do some video work as well. She's got another venture happening. So we'll bring her on and talk about the new stuff that she got going on too,
Yeah.
because she's got a lot happening, man. But it's really interesting, that approach that we took to talk to content creators in particular is really paying off because really everybody is. There's people that are making content you have no idea they have a YouTube channel out here. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
and we need to get as much as we can, man. As many channels as open in the Black community, especially as we can, because there's a lot. There's a lot to cover. So the more the merrier. So cross
Facts.
promotion things coming up and all those good things is what I'm looking forward to. But yeah, tell us how your weekend was, buddy. How you feeling? What's going on with you this weekend? Did you have a
Man.
relaxing weekend at all?
I did. Kind of rebalanced myself. Got back into my swing of meditation, which is kind of helping my day start off on the right foot. You're not rolling out of bed like no groggy, and waking up on the wrong side of bed per se. Trying to set the tone for the day. So that has been helping over the last couple days. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Just trying to keep my spirits high. Trying to keep my spirits high. A lot of things to be excited for. A lot of things to look forward to. I
Yeah,
was definitely happy to hear that. The training went over well. That was
yeah,
definitely a big help to make my weekend quite nice. Big shout out to everybody that came through and showed up and showed out. Definitely appreciate the support. Big shout out to Miss Keatron Zyko for helping us with that. Again, she was the instructor of the class, and we're just getting started, y'all. So a few people are reaching out, saying that they weren't able to sign up and things like that. So definitely come through. Please sign up. We're just getting started. We have 11 more weeks, so yeah, plenty of opportunity to get in and be a part of it. So yeah, I was definitely excited about that. A lot of work went into that, putting that together,
man.
planning it, going back and forth. So definitely glad to have that rolling now. Um, also, big shout out to everybody that had the Puerto Rican Fest. I know, Paul,
Oh,
you went to
man,
that. We'll be getting into that in a little
bro.
bit. Amy H. Dot coming right on time, saying good morning. Definitely good morning to you. Hopefully you had a good weekend. But yeah, all in all, man, I was chilling this weekend.
Yeah,
Spending time with the fam, trying to get my house in order, cut my grass.
okay.
Probably lost about 2 gallons of sweat in the process. It was so humid out here, man. It was crazy. I don't think I've ever sweated that much in my life.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, man. You sweat out all your fluids, being
Oh
real.
yeah, oh yeah. I had to take a break. Start getting a little lightheaded. Had to, go and cool down and rehydrate. But it was just nice to tend to home. You know what I mean? Sometimes we work so much, the house can get in disarray, and then you start feeling that mentally, and you know what I mean. It just
Mhm.
kind of weighs on you. So
Well,
declutter.
They say your house and your yard and your house and stuff is a direct reflection of what's going on in your mind. So if you got
Word.
cluttered house, cluttered mind, you know what I
Man,
mean?
man,
Help,
yeah, I'm
helps to
trying to
clean
trying
it
to trying to clarify. Got a lot of things are going. So yeah, man.
up.
Yeah. Feeling good, feeling
Maria
good.
Sanchez, you said your daughter's turning 21. You guys got any plans this week for your daughter's? I know you guys are gonna do something big, and I know there's gonna be food involved. And I'm not necessarily trying to invite myself to anything, but I'm just saying, if you got some leftovers, let a brother know. Speaking of good food, man, Puerto Rican Fest.
Man,
Amy H. Dot went pulled. I mean, look, she said something like they was expecting like maybe 200-300 people. There might have been 1,000 people there, man.
I saw the pictures of the street was lined, filled with folk.
And they had the capacity. They had the capacity. They had enough food, enough food trucks, enough to keep everybody occupied. They had tables and stuff. They blocked the street off. Had tables and stuff out there, so you can sit down and eat. You know what I'm saying? It was. I will say this one thing. It was hot as everything out there
Man,
for real though. It was seriously hot. So I spent a couple hours out there I guess about an hour and a half, and I got to tell you. I was pretty much through for the day. That heat wore me out. I had to
man,
keep going, but yeah. Yeah, this is a couple of the pictures from them. They had some band. They had a band up there, man. So some music. It was awesome. It was really so good. It felt so good. It felt like New York. It felt like a little street fest in New York.
man.
Amy H. said we probably had almost 3,000 come through the day. So it was
Wow,
wild. Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
first
man.
one.
First one inaugural.
Off to the goods.
Puerto
These are
Rican.
the pictures I like. Look, you got people sitting on the stoop.
Yeah, man.
Got the lawn chairs in the front yard. You know what I mean? Got the fam out there. Look at this. Look at all these folk in the street. Look at this. Beautiful people.
It's not even doing it justice, bro. The way the street was shaped too, like it dips down, so it got this optical illusion of just like going on forever. You just see
Man.
people, man. And yeah, and everybody. And I got some pictures I'm gonna throw up too because what was really special too is me and my non-Puerto Rican friends came through and supported it and got some food and hung out. And that's to me that's what it's all about too. It's not just about the celebration of the people, but it's also about celebrating the people, and all the
Mm-hmm.
neighbors and everybody around coming through too, man. And it felt good. It felt like
Man.
real good. Like
Man.
you don't see me come out much for the nothing in no 100-degree weather with feeling like 117 with the humidity. But I came out for that, and it was worth it in a big way. So shout
Beautiful.
out to Amy H. Dodd and everybody that put that on. That's super successful. She mentioned something to me when we were talking about how many. I was like, because your first thought is there that many Puerto Ricans in Omaha? And it's not really just Puerto Ricans. It's the islands that surround. So there was, what I'm saying, there was the people from the Dominican Republic there, and people from all the islands that surround Puerto Rico too. That
Mm.
felt like this is closest to home as we gonna get. And so yeah, it was just it was a beautiful celebration, man. It was something else. I love what happened with Native Omaha Days. I love what happened with the Puerto Rican Fest. Like I feel like there's been some really good cultural gatherings here. You get your feel of culture out here this time of year, and it feels good. And I'm glad the Puerto Rican Fest is added to that whole realm there. That's what's up.
Man. And don't forget Afrofest coming up next.
Afro Fest. I mean, come on, man. Lots like you said, lots going on, man. For real,
Man,
for
lots
real.
of things are going.
Miss Amy H. I said everyone was welcome. I'm so glad I got to see you. It was so hot. It was hot, bro. It was hot, bro.
Man.
Yeah, it was bad news. There was one time like the clouds kind of went over the sun for a minute. We got a little bit of a breeze, and you could hear the whole crowd just go, ah. Yeah, got a little bit of relief, man. It was funny.
Oh man.
Mr. Let's see. Rome's review says no big plans. Went to dinner at Laos Thai restaurant
Hmm.
across from Omaha South off 24th and L. Very good dinner. She's a good person and a good mom. That's what's up, man.
Okay.
Congratulations to that,
Beautiful.
bro.
Hold on. So, Grandpa Sanchez? Is
Grandpa
that
Sanchez.
man? Looking good, man. Let alone I didn't think you had a 21-year-old daughter, let alone a grandchild.
Brooks said Afrofest is a yearly tradition for my son and I now. I heard that.
Man, beautiful.
Afrofest has grown too. They're in their fifth. This is the fifth year. The Afro Omaha is getting down, and they are. I think there was something like 2,000 or 3,000 people there last time. So they probably have
Man.
many people there this time too, and more. So it's really, really growing. So yeah, man, in a place that feels like it's devoid of culture sometimes, there's some very surprising things that go down and make you that pull you back in. I'm
Right.
liking
Well, I will say, man. Again, my trip with the babies down to Jean Leahy Malls will kind of open my eyes to that because it really felt like all sides of town came to converge at this one place. Which, again, in Omaha, as we always say, one of the most segregated places. Everybody's in their corners. We don't always see that in one place. You know what I mean? Like, North Omaha people might go to South Omaha for Cinco de Mayo. We might, dabble and go out to other sides of town, but to see everybody in one place at one time is kind of interesting. And Omaha is a very diverse place. It's
big time.
just we're segregated.
And guess what else is a diverse place? First Sky Omaha fam, super
Hey,
diverse. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the show. This is First Sky Omaha in the morning.
in the morning.
Can't do it without y'all. Let's get it rolling. What up? What up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. My internet got a little jumpy there. Apologize. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the D is
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for everybody that's coming on in. All the OG, all the original grandpas, all the everybody that's in
hey.
the chat today. Tell a friend, spread the word, share the show. We get as many people in as we can to have a good discussion today. We'll be anticipating the brother senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne to come in and give us some updates on some things and have some discussions. So get your questions ready for them, and also let us know how your weekend was. What did you get
Yeah.
into this weekend, and how was it good? Did you have a positive experience? Did you feel good? Did you stay cool? Did you stay out of that heat? Let us know. Let us know what was going on. Mama God came to the training Saturday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Life of the party. Mama God was too fun, man. We had a great we had a great time. It was really good. Really good turnout. And everybody now people hit me up and was like, "Hey man, sorry we missed it. Can we still get in?" Absolutely. Anytime during the 12-week period you can get in. Get as many classes in as you can, and if it's only a few, then take them because it's really about building the community. It's also about capitalizing on some skills. These are introductory classes on some of the things that it takes to be a citizen journalist. So there's a lot that you can learn, and it's we'll introductory class means we're gonna have some more classes later. So we're gonna really kind of do this. I don't know how much of this particular course we're going to be able to show everybody. We're just kind of hit and missing when it comes to the camera work and stuff like that right now. But we'll capture as much as we can, let you kind of give you an idea of what's going on. But everybody seemed to really, really, really feel good about it. And so, yeah, everybody who wants to sign up, sign up. Send your email address. We'll put that link in the chat again, so we can get as many people into the trainings as we can as well. And the trainings are going to be hopping around a little bit. So we thought that we were going to have a solid spot that we were going to do it the whole 12 weeks. Unfortunately, due to previous bookings and stuff like that, we kind of got to move around. But that's good because we kind of want to explore a couple of other places anyway. We have some places in mind that you'll be able to get to. So if you go ahead and hit that link, which let me go ahead and get that link for you right now. If you hit the link and you subscribe to this and decide that you're going to register for this, then start receiving a newsletter that'll tell you each week where the next class is going to be at, who's going to be in the instructor, and what the subjects are going to be, and all that as well. So, yeah, Content Creators 2023, Content Creators Camp 2023.
Yeah, man.
It's going down, and I'm really really happy about how it went. And shout out to Keaton Zyko, man. She's just a powerhouse. The subject was how you conduct an interview, and I got to tell you. I'm sitting back there writing notes like, I'm gonna use that for the show and use this for the show.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Yeah.
and, uh, yeah, so we're really really excited I'm really excited to hear from these experts Just learning, I'm a forever learner that way, man. So
Gotta
yeah,
be.
just put the link in the chat, hit the link and sign up, put your name in, start getting that first Sky Omaha newsletter that'll let you know when the next class is and who's going to be the instructor and what the subject is, and let's all convene. The first part of the course Saturday was us just getting to know each other. And that's where we come from first, that first
Mhm.
skyway of us building the family first. So by the time the instructions started, everybody was comfortable with each other and feeling good and was ready to hear from each other and ready to hear from Keitron Cycle, and it was just great.
Beautiful.
So Kitchen put it down. I was so excited about it, and I can't wait for next week.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's what it's about. Again, equipping each other to tell our own stories and have our voices being heard. So that's what it's about, man. That's what First Guy Omaha is all about. That's what we're here to do this morning. So definitely feel free to chime into the chat. Let your mind be free, and again, let your voice be heard. Everybody has some input. So again, we do appreciate y'all, and definitely hit that link. Come to Death Row. I'm just joking.
Uh, speaking of Death Row, did you see the video of the infamous chair beating?
Come on, man. You know we're gonna get to it, man. My favorite meme so far is the picture of the brother who swam to the dock. They calling him Aquaman. Call him Aquaman.
Man. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, there's this viral video going around of a big fight between a bunch of people on this dock, and it was all haphazard. The fight looked crazy. It was just looked like it was just a crazy brawl. And it was on a dock, so somebody was in the water swimming up. And the one I saw was like, I ain't never seen nobody swim to a fight,
Man,
cracking up.
man.
And then the end of it was with this man guy just fed up with everything. He picked up a folding chair and just started hitting everybody like it was the WWE. It was craziness, man. But it's so funny the memes that are coming out of this.
Yeah.
What were we doing before memes?
I don't know, man. I really don't. I really don't. And I would like to put the disclaimer out. Of course, we're not condoning violence, but you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes.
Look, I was. I can't help but laugh at what it was. Just I don't. It's so ridiculous. It was just so ridiculous. That's what it felt like to me. Just ridiculous. And the people that were coming to the rescue of the other people. That's the funniest part to me is everybody that thought that was acting as if they were coming to the rescue of these people.
Nah.
And the narration. That's the other part of our generation right now is when somebody's pulling their phone out to catch something, and then you can hear them talking about it.
That's citizen journalism. That's citizen journalism. We had many live correspondents and angles and yeah.
Giving the Snoop Dogg play by play, and everything
Man.
is just hilarious. So yeah, violence bad, but memes good. I don't know if you guys saw you know what we were talking about. I saw Precious post something. Everybody's talking about this chair now.
Oh
And it's
yeah. Oh yeah.
cracking me up, man. It's
The
just
infamous chair. The
infamous.
infamous chair.
But other than that, anything else in the news that anything else that's circulating around? That's some things that we probably need to talk about besides this big brawl.
Yeah, there's some Omaha stuff we can get into, man. Definitely want to talk about this nonprofit that's doing some work in the community. Nonprofit those Community Fund Day instead against gun violence. So we'll definitely talk about the work being
Hmm.
done.
Who's the nonprofit running that? That's what I want to see.
Well, we'll see who's doing the work and what it is that they're doing. So yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. Also, speaking of work, there's some new construction coming. $110 million mental health center, more beds. So we'll
Youth
definitely be talking about
Youth
that.
Mental Health Center.
Yes, thank you. Youth mental health center, more beds. Yeah, we'll get into it, man. There's a lot of questions with
More
this
beds,
one.
more meds.
Possibly. So we'll definitely look at that. Also, there's a couple clinics going on generational wealth. So definitely something we like to talk about here and inform you of. Also, speaking of generational wealth, we're always talking about property and land ownership. And the land bank is definitely, again, something we're always looking at, questioning as far as what role will it play in that process. And apparently they're having a few workshops for people who would like to, become buyers and homeowners and looking for information. So we'll dive into that. Hopefully they're turning the tide, actually, opening things up for the small folk. But we'll see. Of course, as Paul mentioned we are expecting the senators to come through, so definitely looking forward to speaking with brother senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne. Put some respect on their name. Got to say the whole thing like a Tribe Called Quest. Pimp named Slickback. You know what it is. Got a few haps to get into today as well. It's not quite Friday, so we won't, have as much of an extensive haps as usual. But I would definitely have a few things to talk about, especially this Amir Locke Doc that's coming. Sounds of the Police. Whoop whoop.
That's the sound of the police.
Yeah, man, it's coming. It's coming. Powerful documentary. Quite honestly, man, between this documentary, I don't know if y'all seen what's going on in South Africa, some of the chants that's coming out of there. The brawl on in Montgomery. Mind you, the boat was called the Harriet.
Wow, them black folks wasn't having it.
The boat was called the Harriet. So I just feel some ethers a brewing.
Some of that stand up, stuff. Yeah.
Just in time for election season coming up. So we'll see. We'll dive into all of that and more. As always, if there's anything on your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, feel free to drop that into the chat, and we'll try to dive into it.
Yeah, before we get going, Amy H. says late, but I posted this morning about my latest notes from the Omaha housing meeting last week. She's been working with documenters and covered that. She says we got a development update. We need to maybe have you on the show to talk about that. Would you like to come on the show Wednesday and inform us about some of that stuff and talk about it a little bit? That'd be great. Yeah. Marlon Harrison, where's Jerry Springer at when you need him? What you need Jerry Springer for?
Talk about the boat.
Talking about the brawl, man. Yeah, that's. But that was the other thing that struck me too. Like the brawl was something that was like, okay, black folks, people getting bold with black folks, and black folks is like not they like this ain't the 40s, bro. We fighting back, and if we got to jump in the water and swim over to the fight, we gonna support each other. So it did kind of come out, it did kind of like make me be like, there's something in the ether, like you said, there's something going on right now that's like, yeah, man, maybe we're organizing a little bit better. Maybe we're
hopefully
finding our footing a little bit. Gwen Easter gives us a good morning. Good morning to you. Thanks for coming to the class on Saturday. Appreciate your input and everything that you brought to it as well. And I hope to see you again in the classes and many, many more people. In the meantime, between time, let's go ahead and jump into a story before we get to the senators coming in soon. Buddy, what's first on the agenda for you?
Man, let's start with a little positivity. Talk about this generational wealth.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Talking about, coming together, organizing and things. This is definitely something towards that effect to Nebraska. Actually, this is being reported by Nebraska Examiner, so shout out to them. And Cindy Gonzalez, as always, doing the reporting, getting down with the good work.
Yep.
And she reports 2 Nebraska organizations are partnering to offer free individualized sessions on August 12th on how homeowners can build generational wealth. The home sessions will delve into how the homeowner can have more control over the future of their home and how family benefits can accrue from that asset. The Generational Wealth Clinic sessions, co-hosted by Legal Aid of Nebraska, are to be held at the offices of the other co-host, Habitat for Humanity. That's at 1701 North 24th Street. Again, 1701 North 24th Street. One-on-one sessions will be offered from 9 a.m. to noon. Registration is required, so we'll be dropping the link in the chat. And the registration will close tomorrow. So again, if you are interested, definitely check that out. Focus is on the transfer on death deed, which transfers property to the named beneficiary, subject to any encumbrance on the property without going through probate. Again, if anyone knows anything about inheritance and transferring wealth from generation to generation, a lot of wealth can be killed or at least cut in probate court. So again, a lot of good information. The deed is a critical first step to building generational wealth, clinic sponsors said. Again, not just Legal Aid of Nebraska, but also Habitat for Humanity teaming up on this. Actually, Habitat Omaha does more than build houses, according to Lacey Studnicka, who's a family services program director with Habitat. She says, we want to help build generational wealth from that home and ensure a home transfer properly to the next generation. So again, mind you, Legal Aid of Nebraska is also offering tenant services for those who are facing eviction, and then also Habitat for Humanity. We just learned, I believe last year, has home ownership programs as they continue to build their new development just off of Sorensen by Wakanda. So again, a lot of opportunity is coming for home ownership. Maybe some more resources that we may not have been aware of. Excuse me, out there to take advantage of. So definitely, again, if you're interested in home ownership, if you already own your home, I know a few of our chat chimers own their homes, have children. You're interested in passing it down. This could be some very useful information.
A lot of homes got taken away over wills and things like that that didn't pan out right. You think you got a
Man,
will. It's not as simple as a will these days. So you can't just have a will that says I'm passing my house down to somebody. You got to go through a whole bunch of stuff, and they're gonna have to go through a whole bunch of stuff and may not get it. So there's definitely ways that you can solidify and make the process easier to get to pass on your home. And these are organizations too that are actually like helping you get the home in the first place. So I'm gonna sign up for this myself and go definitely check it out and see what's going on. We talk a lot about some of these organizations like Habitat for Humanity, and it's easier to talk about them when you go ahead and go to the programs. You get up close and personal, can figure out exactly what's happening with them, and get a better picture of how they're helping, supposedly helping our neighborhoods, helping with some home ownership and retaining keeping your home as well,
man.
and all those good things. So yeah, I can't criticize them no more until I go ahead and go up close and personal and check them out and see what's going on. So I'm gonna sign up myself. I like to see anybody else would like to do that too. Maybe hit that link in the chat and go check it out. It's free to the public. So we might as well go see what's going on.
Yeah. Again, if you do register and you do go, legal aid volunteer attorneys will be there working with participants to prepare the deeds at the clinic. They do ask that you bring a valid form of ID, of course, to complete those documents. So keep
Okay.
that in mind. Definitely check it out.
Mir Sanchez says, if you follow celebrities on social media but don't follow a financial coach, blame yourself.
Man,
Yeah,
man, there's plenty of financial podcasts out there, man. Earn Your Leisure got a whole financial university, business university,
yeah, man. Yeah.
EYL University.
What's that trap dude's name?
Wall Street Trapper.
Wall Street Trapper. That's my dude right there, man. He'll simplify it right on up for you. He got courses where you can take $5 out of your savings account and double it and build it up over a course of time and have enough money to put in, invest in something. And he's all about it, man. He was in jail and came out of jail and learned how to.
Man,
Learned how to trade while he was in jail, and came out and a few years later, man, he's got money. He's out here teaching courses on it, and he's making it very accessible. You can understand exactly what's going on the way he described it. So there's some cats out there. I'm really proud of seeing some cats out there that are doing some work like that. That's the power of black media, is to be able to see shows like Wall Street Trapper, Earn Your Leisure.
man,
These Earn Your Leisure guys are having financial conventions bigger than there ever has been ever in life.
10,000 people at the Atlanta convention.
Billionaires on the stage telling you how to do it, doing it all over the world, and this has happened all in a matter of a couple of years. So there's information out there, like Mayor Sanchez is saying, and when we did our season Follow the Money, we kind of, that's when we really got into some of those things and try to kind of spread the word on it. But it's a constant. We'll keep on talking about it, and we have a lot of insurance agents as well that we know in our community. And I didn't understand until I started paying attention to Earn Your Leisure and Wall Street Trapping those guys about what insurance does for your
Man,
family,
life
and how,
insurance.
how you build wealth through life insurance, how you can even invest in your own company. If you have a life insurance policy, you can borrow against it. There's all kinds of stuff that goes down. People build wealth. And we didn't know we got life insurance agents in our community and weren't really paying attention to what they saying about this. So like now it's got me calling them people up like, let me know about your plans. Let me
Man,
see what's happening.
hey, with that note, shout out to brother Court Bonner. That's my life insurance agent. And it's a
Okay.
brother. It's a brother. He has a State Farm agency out there in Omaha. Holla at him.
Yeah.
Get you
Yeah,
right.
man. We'll keep on trying to remind each other about that. That's the other
Yeah,
thing I want to do here. That's why we did the whole like Follow the Money season, because we wanted to say, hey, we're all trying to like up our game here with everything. So if we have an opportunity to keep up with each other and stay up with each other, then let's talk about that too. Let's talk
yeah.
about the things you don't learn in school, relationships and money.
Man, and maybe we'll get into this with the senators, but of course, throughout the Follow the Money season, one of the big things, of course, we were looking at was LB 1024. But keep in mind, it's not just about getting the money. It's not just about coming up with a plan to, uh, build upon that, but to keep it, you got to figure out how to keep it as well. So yes, definitely life insurance, Roth IRA accounts. Look at those Roth IRA accounts. Get your trust. Learn. Please educate yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're on that journey. Miss Erica Fell says, "Good morning. Get insurance now. I tried
man.
to get better policy last month and can't because I had cancer.
There you
So
go.
yeah, get it now. Get it going now because you're only gonna get older and things are gonna happen. So and it'll be make it real hard. But especially if you got
Mhm.
kids, yeah, let's get it going. But yeah, I appreciate that piece there. I definitely will hit that link. Check out what they have to say about that. I do believe some home ownership. I'm gonna have to start looking at some home ownership. I don't never want to be in that situation I was a year and a half ago, where it was like I could not figure out what to do about finding affordable housing.
Man.
That was I can't imagine having if I had a wife and kids and had to go through some mess like that. So yeah, I turned the corner about 2 years ago. I was like, oh, this is you don't just buy a house because it'd be nice to buy a house or you want to do an investment thing. You got to buy a house to have a place to survive. Like
Mhm.
it's a survival thing now to buy some land and a house.
Man.
It ain't
Man.
just an investment opportunity.
Nah, it ain't just, something to flip. Yeah,
No,
it's a foundation. It's a
yeah.
foundation. So big shout out to all the homeowners out there. Definitely, keep your more power to you. More
Hmm.
power to you, and educate. Educate.
Right.
Speaking of education, moving along. It looks like Omaha Land Bank is trying to stand up in a way to help educate those out there. They did post a bulletin, the lot transformation bulletin on next successful buyers workshop. According to Omaha Land Bank, will be at the Revive Center on Thursday, September 21st, from 5:30 to 7:30. We will have a different slate of panelists at this workshop to share additional resources to complement your lot transformation journey. So apparently, this is for those who are looking to buy a lot or have purchased a lot. This is some information on what to do with the lot. There are some also application dates if you are interested. Again, mind you, the Omaha Land Bank owns a very large majority of the empty lots and parcels of land sprinkled throughout mostly North and a little bit of South Omaha as well. Again, important dates for August applications to purchase property. If that is something that you're interested in, prepared to do, applications are due by Monday, August 14th. So you got a week to look into that. Acquisitions and dispositions committee meets Thursday, August 31st to review those applications, and then decisions will be made by September 13th. So if you need additional assistance, you can join them this Thursday the 10th at Home Team Auto Sales at 6025 Sorensen Parkway for a successful buyer's pop-up clinic. So again, if you are interested in Omaha Land Bank, their property, you're interested in buying property, need more information, you can check them out this Thursday, August 10th at Home Team Auto Sales at 6025 Sorensen Parkway from 5 to 7.
Hmm. That's another organization that I think I want to pay a little bit more attention to. Go to
Oh yeah.
some of these meetings and things that they have. Somebody reached out to us recently from the land bank. We were talking about getting on. I can't find that email for the life of me. And that's my bad. That's my disorganization going on over here. So I definitely want to reach back out to them and see if they still want to come on and talk a little bit about what goes on in their organization. But like I said, I'm getting to the point now. This is what Boots on the Root season 6 is about for me too. Is like getting down and getting in the face of some of these organizations, talking to them, learning more, figuring things out on a level of not just talking about what we're reading about and getting these reports about from the news, but also actually talking to some of these folks directly and bringing them on the show and figuring it out too. So Land Bank, like Buddy said, big landowner of a bunch of North and South Omaha properties, the biggest.
Man, the
So
biggest.
yeah, yeah, and from what we understand, even more properties in their listing, even on the website. So there's a big there's a that's a big organization for us to not be paying close attention to when it comes to if we're talking about holding on to the land and the properties and stuff in our neighborhood. So got to do it. That's what's up. Rick Fulton in the chat. He's talking about "Sad Story" by Burbach in the paper yesterday about the woman with 4 kids' death. Yeah, we've been had acknowledged that there was a pretty bad death, a murder that happened, and it was really unfortunate what happened, and prayers and everything to her family. He says, is upcoming parade for Bud going to be safe? I'm sure. He says even if it's a parade with 400 police officers and stuff, it's going to be fun. We're talking about this upcoming parade for Bud Crawford that Gene Stothard is putting on. We talked about it Friday, and it's interesting that it's coming from that Gene Stothard was the one who kind of initiated this thing. But hey, undeniable. He's the undeniable champ, and the city wants to get behind that city. So yeah, I think we're gonna definitely support the parade, and this is a celebration of Bud, so we're gonna do it. But yeah, go ahead.
I'm kind of what along the lines of what Rick Fulton is getting to, as far as is it a celebration for Bud, or is it a commercial for their $200 million parks in Tiff Alley?
Good. I mean, we talked about that Friday too. Yeah, somebody, I think it might have been Rick Fulton in the chat Friday that said something like that, like this is an advertisement. No, it was I think it was Amy H. Dobbs. So it's an advertisement for the Gene Leahy Mall. Really was what they said. But you're right. I mean, if it wasn't mutually beneficial, they wouldn't be doing it at all. But at the same time, you want to support Bud. So
yeah,
it's a tough one though. But yeah, I mean, this is the kind of show to talk about the nuance of that.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
Gene, when's the last time we even said Mean Gene on this show? Like, she ain't been in the news for a minute. All of a sudden, Bud wins, and all of a sudden, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're too busy sharing their hero stories of the police.
You're right. Having news conferences over police getting cats out of trees and stuff. These days. Rick Fulton said, Bud already got the key to the city and other accolades. Don't need a parade so the wealthy can promote their $200 million parks.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Also, that's the other part of it that Mayor Sanchez is saying. The eyes of the world will be on Omaha Saturday. They were on Omaha last weekend for real. So yeah. Miss Erica Fell said she ain't been in town for a minute. Yeah, we didn't heard her name in a minute, and then she's busted out. She knew there was black folks in Omaha. I don't know what's going on with her. Sometimes.
Oh, man.
But the world knows now, thanks to Bud. So it's take this opportunity to put Omaha on the map a little bit,
Right. And again, hopefully some North Omaha folks and people from the community that actually, Bud grew up in will get some shine in this parade as well. So, we'll see. We'll see. Definitely, if you can make it out there to have a good time, support, man.
For sure. We'll take a quick break and come right back, and hopefully we'll be talking to the senators here pretty soon. Pops in the chat said, I saw her press conference, and it sounded like a straight up promotion for the mall. Yeah. She must have mentioned the mall at least 10 times in that few minutes.
I'm telling you, man. Tiff Alley, mind you, understand what's going on. They are investing in this alley, and they haven't enticed all the business that they need. Like there's still a selling point that's going on with this. Understand the plan. They're trying to build this whole business corridor along this Tiff Alley, Farnham Street stretch. They're still selling. Pay attention.
Oh man, this is what we do here for that message. I will take a quick break and come right back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, stay tuned. We should be talking to the senators, brother senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne shortly. In the meantime, between time. I didn't mean to do that. In the meantime, between time, we'll be right back.
You could have just played it off.
I should have played it off better, but the song takes so long to start. Right near the beach. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, and ladies and gentlemen, Senator Terrell McKinney in the house.
Hey.
Morning, bro. How you doing?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Man, all right, all
Doing
right.
all right. It's not a bad Monday. It's not a bad
Yeah.
Monday. I had a pretty decent, relaxing weekend. It's pretty fun. How was your weekend?
It was good. It was chill. It was decent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh. What'd you get into? Anything fun?
I chilled with my brother for his birthday, so that was cool. And just chilled out. Try to relax a little bit.
Yeah, man. I kind of saw the post, man. Tell bro happy birthday. You know, Leo season. Shout out to all the Leos out there. So yeah. Nothing like a little family fun, man. So congratulations to you for unwinding, because you definitely got to work that in, with all the work that you do. So, definitely appreciate that. How's everything else, man? How's the work? What's the word?
Everything else has been cool. Just trying to stay on top of everything and try to make sure stuff is getting done and stuff is gonna be done right as best as possible. That's what I've been working on with Senator Wayne.
Okay.
Hear anything from the DED lately? Any new news? Nothing, huh? Man,
Nah.
we've been digging into it, man. I think we're gonna have somebody from the DED on the show here pretty soon. We just gonna straight up be like, "Yo, what's up?" Nah,
Man, what's going on? Are the senators getting that sense, or what? Are you growing impatient?
I wouldn't say impatient. I would say, and I would tell them, like, saying nothing is the worst thing you can do. And even if like they're not ready to like put out the applications, like at least say something like what's going on. And they ain't really did that as best as I think they could. So I'm trying to work on that.
They got a communications person over there, or PR, or somebody to talk to, or something.
I don't know. They
Seems like
should.
I'll put it out there. Like, with First Sky Omaha will help you do a little outreach if you need to. That's what we're here for. So
Right.
anyway, that's our questions about what's going on. With the ARPA funds, the 1024 funds. I know you guys are staying on top of what's going on there. We know that the next step is that the DED is going to announce some interaction with the DED is coming soon. So we're waiting on them to talk.
Yeah, it'll be soon. Hopefully not too much longer before they start saying some stuff. So
Just
for next week.
Just a ballpark. What are you expecting? Weeks, months?
As far as what?
When we're expecting to hear something from DED?
Weeks.
Okay.
Like weeks, and definitely not no months or anything like that. Just
Okay. We'll try to remain patient and vigilant and keep our eyes open.
Yeah.
When does the session start?
The session will start to January.
Okay, so we got a few months.
So you're doing a bunch of work to kind of gear up for the next session too. You have to like prepare for things, and are you doing that, or what's your plan for that?
I honestly haven't. I've thought about a couple of bills, but I ain't really dived deep into it yet. I've been trying not to think about that place as much as possible.
Hey, I don't blame you.
You gotta take a real break from that.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Okay.
Hey, man, let me jump in real quick before we get too far in. We were talking about before we got on. We were talking about the parade that's coming up here, with the Victory Parade and celebration happening Saturday, August 12th, for Brother Crawford, and we were just talking about how we ain't heard Jean Stother's name in the news for a minute, and all of a sudden she's putting a parade together. And a lot of people in the chat are saying it feels like it's just a commercial for the Jean Leahy Mall area, and you know what I'm saying, like for the city more than a celebration for Bud. What's your thoughts on what's going on? I mean, obviously we're gonna go support Bud.
I wouldn't say that. The preferred space would have been North Omaha, but
True.
The magnitude of the parade is bigger than what Omaha Days or Juneteenth would be. So they put it's downtown because of that, just because of the size of it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it's just for the mayor or something like that. I mean, when you look at Bud, he's a professional athlete that just won one of the biggest championships in his sport. So
Right.
use that parallel with, like, say, the Kansas City Chiefs when they just won the Super Bowl.
Man.
Right.
Did they hold it in the predominantly black area in Kansas City?
Right. They in the street in the downtown.
KC got a black quarterback. Patrick Mahomes. So I mean, no, I wouldn't look at it like that. I think it's more so based on trying to make sure we put on a good event for somebody that represents our city and our state, and not make sure we don't drop the ball, because I mean it's a safety and logistics issue as well, and we got to think about that too. Where people gonna park?
Yeah.
How, y'all was on here talking about safety and all those type of things. You got to factor all that in. So
That's true.
it
Yep.
ain't yeah.
Good point, man. Good point. Thanks for bringing us back down to reality a little bit. We get out there and Mean Gene just trying to sell the city. Terry Crawford in the chat says, "Good morning. Speaking of the parade, there was a request for Malcolm X Foundation to be a participant, which was denied. Although just inducted into the Nebraska Hall of Fame, reason given the lineup is set already, so no new entries will be taken." Side eye on that one. Okay.
I mean, I ain't organizing it, but they had a limited. It wasn't necessarily an open, like it. I won't say open, not open, but it was limited. It was always going to be limited participants. So I don't know how at the time that request was made, how far along was the amount of people that they were going to place in it were in it. That's what I would say.
Well, you made some good points. It makes sense. It does make sense logistically to have it in a spot that's going to be everybody going to be there for real. So, it makes a lot of sense that the whole city's involved with this. And furthermore, I'm glad the city is recognizing Bud. I mean, they could have not done that too. Even though
that part.
Even though we're in a situation where this is a world. The world has the attention on Omaha right now. This is very true too, but that don't mean much sometimes. So I'm glad they're giving him his flowers now. We do have brother Senator Justin Wayne in the chat now as well. We can bring him in. Hey, bro. Good morning to you. How you doing?
Good. I had Cox out here 4 times and I see a yellow bar already. I'm about to hop on the phone.
I keep forgetting to call you, man, because I had some things I wanted to talk to you, hook you up with, in order to help you make your signal better too. And that's my bad. I'm just so disorganized these days. But I'm just glad you're here, bro. How you feeling better? You wasn't feeling good the last couple of weeks.
Man.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm feeling good now. I'm feeling great.
What's up?
Just
what's going on with you?
All the time. That's all.
Terrell, you the troublemaker?
Brother, have you stressed out?
What happened? What happened, man? What went down now? I gotta know.
Oh, nothing.
Man, he tried to wrestle me the other day. I'm too slow for that. He tried to wrestle me.
He telling the truth now. We really know why. He said he wasn't feeling well, but he was just sore from the. Man, well, tell me what's happening in your world, man. I know that I think somebody just asked, is this the next session, your last session?
The last hoorah.
This is your last hoorah for you. You got things that you were gearing up for before the next session started? Are you like Brother McKinney over here that don't even want to think about that place right now and take a break from it? Where are you at on preparing for next session?
I'm taking a break. I'll let you know in September.
Okay.
So now I'm just sitting with the family now. I'm sitting with the family, relaxing now, man. We'll figure it out September.
Yeah. How is the family, by the way, man?
Everybody's good. My daughter is 11 going on 21, so it's rough.
I hear that. We were just talking about the parade that Gene Stothard has put together for Bud. We were over here like, we ain't heard Stothard's name in a minute. Now all of a sudden she wants to do a parade, and of course it's going to be at the mall downtown. So they're trying to just really focus on the city. We had all kinds of stuff to say about it. Brother McKinney put us in our place there a little bit, saying, "Nah, it's about the logistics. It's about it's going to be a huge event. It really is. That they need to have it in the space. It would have been ideal if it was in North Omaha, but do we have the logistics for a parade that big in North Omaha? It kind of makes sense that we're going to have it out there. But, furthermore, the biggest part is that we're giving Bud his flowers right now. We're going to support that. But how did you feel about it when you heard about the parade being put together? Did you have anything to
I'm no. In fairness, the night of the fight, I was talking to the mayor, and we were talking about a parade
Okay.
and figuring out the logistics of
That's
it.
what's up.
So it was always on our mind about doing something, but trying to figure out how, when, and where.
Yeah.
Who's like organizing it? Who someone mentioned about the Malcolm X thing. Who made those selections?
Well, we got about 14, 15 people, all claiming to be parade
Ah,
organizers. Uh, and so part of that is that's true. I mean, part of it's the logistics. And so we met with the mayor on Thursday about upcoming things, and we were supposed to talk about 531, and then like we spent a half hour. She was talking to McKinney about, okay, how do we do this? How do we make sure we get people on board? Because there was so many people saying they were Bud's spokesperson, or they had the connection to Bud,
ah.
and
I'm Bud's
it's
cousin.
just
I'm Bud's cousin. I can tell you what we're gonna do.
yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I think from the beginning the city wanted to do something. It was just the logistics of it all, and sitting down and making sure we had they had the decision makers in the
Yeah.
room.
Okay. Well, hopefully it goes off right, and we give him the celebration he deserves.
Right.
So definitely, will you gentlemen be in attendance?
Yeah, I will.
I think I'm riding with Terrell because I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just trying to sit back and sip on something nice as I just ride through the parade at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's my style right there. That's California style. Let's roll. Let's do it.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. I definitely, like I said, definitely want to give a shout out to Bud. Speaking of this situation with him, my pops hit me to something that I thought was real interesting. He said that the brother that Bud fought came from a small town in Texas that my dad happened to have lived in at one point in time. And then, of course, my dad is from Omaha, where Buzz from. And now my dad lives in Vegas, where they fought. And he just was feeling this big connection, like it's a trip. My worlds colliding, my life colliding with this type of connection. And it got me thinking just about like how broad the fight was, how broad the scope of this thing was in the world, not just like in our country, but in the world, and what a worldwide champion Bud is becoming, and how all eyes are on Omaha right now, and I don't seem to be able to even grasp the scope of how big this is sometimes. Really, can you guys speak to? Do you guys, can you tell me a little bit about like what you think this means, just for like Omaha as a whole, that this is going on, that this has happened?
Uh, it's. I mean, honestly, when you kind of think about what he did something nobody ever did as far as male boxers. And you talking about Ali,
Tyson,
Tyson, all
Oh,
of them.
it's that
Floyd.
level. That level is what you think.
Sugar Ray. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's probably it's different when you from here, you know them, and it's kind of different. So you probably we're gonna think about it probably 10, 15, 20 years when like man, you know that happened. But what he did is something major that
Yeah.
he definitely put himself in the history books for forever.
Uh, I, I kind of want to take a turn with this, because we do know that you're a coach, you're a wrestling coach. Again, Senator Wayne is a coach as well. We do know that part of the economic recovery funds will be going to sports facilities. So, what do you think this will mean for sports in the community? Do you think the city will support sports more? Again, we don't have a lot of things for our youth to do. So, what do you think that means for the future of sports in Omaha?
I think sports in Omaha. I mean, let's say North Omaha. Uh,
Right.
we a part of like the LB 1024 531 thing is we set aside what was it, like 35 million for a sports facility in
Hmm.
North Omaha that's being worked on for kids in North Omaha. Bud is also trying to expand his gym to do more things as well.
Okay.
His boxing gym and wrestling team that I coach share the same building. So
Mm.
some of the kids go from wrestling to boxing and in between. So I mean, I think the biggest thing, and when you look at it, is like we have to invest in youth extracurricular activities to keep them away from stuff. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like to say like sports are a big thing or they don't really care for them for whatever reason. But I would tell you, if it wasn't for wrestling, I wouldn't be a state senator.
Mm.
School, just telling me to go to school just didn't do it for me, honestly. Having a sport and knowing that the only way I could participate in the sport if I get good grades kept me on track. So we we got to use sports in that type of way for our community. No, sports isn't everything, and everybody's not going to the league. But if we can leverage sports to make sure our kids get a better education, we got to do that.
Yeah, yeah,
I hear that. I know
yeah.
you're on that tip too, brother Wayne. What say you on what Bud's championship means for sports in Omaha?
Well, I just think it also gives people hopes and dreams. Like, I think if for me, if the message was, if Bud could send a message to everybody, it's the discipline. Like at the end of
Mm.
the day, if you want to be good at something, anybody can do it. If you want to be on top of the world, anybody, little kid from Omaha can do it. But you got to have the right discipline, and you got to be focused, and that kind of discipline and focus carries you over in anything in life. And so, and as far as what Senator McKinney said about sports, at the end of the day, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for sports either. And
Mm.
I think there's a direct correlation where we see it the uptick in juvenile crime with the lack of sports and things to do in North Omaha for youth. When I grew up, we had the Martin Luther King Baseball League, we had Country Club Baseball League, Benson Little League, we had Kellum League that we was all playing basketball. Even if you weren't playing basketball, you knew somebody who was down at Kellum.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You had the North Omaha Bears football. Hell, you
Man.
even had Gladiators, which we consider the way out west, which today is just probably Midtown around 90th and Sorensen. But you had people playing out there. You had Little Vikes. Like it was just so much going on that your Fridays and Saturdays, you went to the mall during the day, but you was at home because you had something to do on Sunday. Like you wasn't out here at the Gene
Man.
Leahy with 100 kids at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night fighting. Like that's not how it went down.
Yeah,
Man, it's funny because as you're talking about that, I'm thinking about my friends and my peers and people that I went, have grown up with, and my brother was a bear. I had homies who were low Vikes, and they might not be senators, but they're all good fathers, working hard, family men. You know what I mean? People that are just in the community trying to do good. And a lot of them, got a lot of that mentality from sports, especially football. Um,
right.
And here's how I
mm,
look. I look at it real simple. We are by we are just social people by nature, right? And so everybody's going to join a game. And people don't want to frame it like that, but everybody's going to join some type of gang. The question is it a positive gang or a negative gang? The
mm,
friends you hanging around, are they positive or negative? So if we can put people, especially young kids, in a social environment where it's positive, they're getting something out of it, they're building the same friendships, then that becomes their second home. That's no different than what they're offering on the streets. And we got to
yeah.
have an alternative.
Yeah. I mean, police is a gang. Everybody's a gang. You join up to be a part of something bigger than you, and that's just human nature, and it's gonna happen that way. So, I have that's the appreciation. I'm not a real big sports dude, even though I played a lot of sports growing up and stuff like that. But I see the big value in the social construct of sports and what it does bring. While you guys are talking about this, I'm sitting here thinking that's what music did for me. Music, me being in the music scene and being in bands and having infrastructure, being able to play at certain places and go to certain studios and all that is what kept me out of trouble growing up. So same kind of thing, and I feel the camaraderie with other musicians and people like that for the same kind of reason. So I really respect that. There's a good point in the chat going on. Malik Rogers says, need the right people to run new sports center. Too many states started off in Black Omaha and taken over by nonprofits. I know you guys mentioned something about that before about like finding the right people to come and run some of these programs, and you were losing a lot of people, a lot of good people that were running programs too. We got any solutions on how to get the right folks in to run some of these programs, especially in North Home?
Yeah, so for us, we've been putting together a small group. When I say putting together, we just having conversations around what youth sports look like. And for
Hmm.
me, it was we went back and found all the people that been doing it for the right reasons. Like they ain't out here walking around talking about these are my kids. Like I'm the one who produced Justin Patton. I'm the one who produced Kyrie Thomas.
Mm,
We all know those cats, right? Like, but it's the kids who are the people who are like, man, I got 20 kids in the car and we going to McDonald's and I'm dropping them all off. Like those are the ones we got around the table just saying, what do y'all want it to look like? You know what I'm saying? Like how do we do this at the end of the day? And that's the big thing. What's funny though, it isn't just sports. Like, so my daughter is in the 5th grade going into the 6th. And when she decided she wanted to play basketball, I'm calling people and I'm like, man, what organization? Where do y'all go play basketball down at? All these teams are non-existent. But it isn't just that. North Omaha seems to be so factioned. We were having a conversation, I think it was yesterday, Senator McKinney, might have been the day before, with a entrepreneur here who is close to a billionaire, if not a billionaire. And I was like, if you're an entrepreneur, where do you go? And he did that look where you look up to the left and you thinking like, well, damn, okay, can't go there. Like we just don't have from sports to entrepreneurship to music. We don't have right. We just don't have that place where you can have natural combustion, as Senator McKinney calls it, where people can come in and just say, oh man, I'm just here. What about this idea? What about that idea? We just don't have that natural collision that we used to have. Right? Like there was a music scene where you may not have a band, but all of a sudden you find yourself playing on Saturday with a group of folks that you just met at this natural collision to come up with something beautiful. We don't have that in sports. We don't have that in entrepreneurship. We don't have that in music, but we all had that when we was growing up. So how do we bring that back?
And I assume that part of the reason why you guys push for this money to come into North and South Omaha is so that some of the infrastructure can get built back. And that's how I see that money coming in there. Hopefully it can build the infrastructure for all those things. And this also helps to retain people, because right now I have to, if somebody comes to me for advice about the music industry, I have to tell them leave the state and go somewhere where there's an industry where you can find yourself a manager, where you can find yourself enough gigs to live on, and somewhere where it's supported. But I would love to see all that stuff here in Omaha. They wouldn't have to go. There's no reason to do that now. The industry can be anywhere because of the internet. So why not have record companies here and managers here and people here? So that's how I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it like hopefully this money will come in and it'll build these infrastructures for all the things that you were just talking about that doesn't have the support. Is that kind of along the lines of what you guys are wishing for?
100% what we're looking for. And again, it isn't just sports, entrepreneurships. Like I don't know a whole lot about music. I love live music. I struggle to find where to go in Omaha to check it out. But it's like somebody out there does, right? So let's figure out how to do it. And I think to the chat chimer in the comments, it can't continue to be nonprofit led. Like we got to be able to make dollars and keep it sustainable. Like if we put all this money in North Omaha and none of it's sustainable in 5 years, then shame on us.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely have to build a base and build an economic base and not just call it what it is, man. Some of these nonprofits out here are just poverty pimping. That's just what it is. I mean, just call it what it is. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. If you're not working for your nonprofit to, not have to exist in an amount of years, then what we doing?
Yeah. Appreciate you guys chiming into the chat. Wanda Lewis in the chat says, "I say let the youth take the lead. Those that know each one teach one."
Yeah, definitely.
Also, shout out to Bo, who's out in California right now. He said, "Good everything. Nebraska stand up. Bud is the best." Yes.
Yeah, man.
Whole world watching what went down last weekend for real. Also, yes, Brother Knight said, Got to generate capital for sustainability. You guys have done a great job on that. I can't wait to, the more I dig into the story, the more I'm like, this story needs to be told. We've been talking about it. And it's
sustainability and independence. Like that's the ultimate goal, is to get Black, not even just North Omaha, in a space where we just become economically independent from having to go down those routes of going in the nonprofit space or having to convince philanthropists to give to our ideas or thing like that. Like the biggest thing is creating sustainability so we could also be economically independent. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. So on that note, I mean, we kind of got into it a little bit with Senator McKinney, but Senator Wayne, like, where do you feel like we are with economic recovery process. Again, I know we're still waiting on the DED, but what does that sign mean? What is that?
Man, I'm going to an event this week that I was kind of I don't even know if I was invited to, just so I could pop up on the governor and we want that. I mean, I'm doing that thing like meet me. You ain't gonna meet me. I'm gonna come find you.
I'm gonna swim up to the dock.
He said, "I'm gonna swim up to the dock."
And it's just that everybody got busy schedules, but I just I gotta stress to him and his staff that it's that time is time is of the essence, and I think we're doing fine. I think everybody's still trying to figure out, and so part of it's us. We're gonna be blunt about it. He's having meetings with 5 or 6 North Omaha businesses, and they saying they should do something. We should be doing something else, and part of it's just us distracted from the goal. Like I'll give you an example. So like if on 24th Street, 30th Street, 16th Street, Ames, there are people out there who are hating on some of the businesses. Like we don't need to put money in this business, or this business might fail. We don't need a pizza shop in 24th Street; it might fail. And where what I'm telling folks is, to me, it's not about the actual business. Part of step one is having the infrastructure, like Paul just said. You want to rent office right now, or you want to start a company. Where do you go in North Omaha to even open up the shop? We don't even have the infrastructure. People want to keep comparing us to 24th South Omaha. Well, South Omaha has an infrastructure where small businesses, if you want to start a restaurant, you can go in and get a lease. Like you want to, for me as an attorney, if I want to open up an office space, there isn't any. Think about that. Where can you go right now to open up a insurance company? Where can you rent office from?
True
So
that.
part of it is I just want to build some infrastructure. Now, do I want some of those businesses to be successful? Of course, of course. But at the end of the day, we also got to have an infrastructure in place. Like, so let's say X, Y, and Z company don't make it, but they build out a restaurant. Well, now we got a restaurant space that people could actually use. So now if I want to start a restaurant, maybe my idea of owning a restaurant, now I become a landlord because I realize I can't do the restaurant business, but I sure can lease it out. Like we
True
just
that.
don't have that kind of basic infrastructure. And so to me, it's two part. Like they trying to get the golden goose, and I'm saying, hey, I'm just trying to make sure we show up and get something going.
Like it's
And,
not a silver bullet. Like this it's a process.
Right.
and not only that, I kind of see this as in this time too. There's a lot being done to try to keep track of some of these things and to use some talk about resources to give people help to do things. Brother Malik Rogers in the chat is saying we need to keep it real. If people have not been successful with previous opportunities, no need to keep thinking they're going to be successful with this opportunity unless there's some support and some infrastructure is what I'm thinking. And so I definitely think that I kind of want to dig into that a little bit more too. Like even us, doing our application and trying to go for some of these funds, wouldn't even know what direction to go in quite yet if I wasn't in conversations with people like we talked to Julian Young Business Advisory. He's giving us a direction to go with our business, giving us a support. I mean, there's got to be this support infrastructure out there too, in order for people to be able to capitalize on these things too.
But
What do you?
that's a two-sided thing, because on one hand, I do agree it's a lot of people that have been getting money for a lot of years that haven't did anything but say they have. But then on the other hand, you got people who want to do some amazing things, but if they even get an opportunity, you got people saying, "Why did you get selected?" So
Yeah,
we we we, we can't be hypocrites here. Do we want to open it up to new people, or do we want to keep the same people? And we just got to be honest there, because it's some people who were just identified as a recommendation. They never got a dollar, and they'll call them non-traditional North Omaha businesses or whatever. And then people pointing fingers at them saying, why them? Why y'all go with the old people? Then you got other people on the other hand saying, don't go with the older people that been in business because they ain't did anything. So
their track
we
record.
we we got to be a little more clear on what we want.
Yeah.
And we got to change the narrative. And I understand what people are saying about if they don't have a proven track record, we shouldn't give them another opportunity. But at the same time, that's how most of our technology advances occur. It's through failure. We can't be
Mm-hmm.
afraid to fail. And
Man.
the one thing I said, I remember who I know who he was talking to. I'm gonna leave that name out, but we was talking to somebody, and I was just like, look, we gonna have failure, and at some point, you got to be okay with that.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
if not every dollar that invested is going to be successful. And they looked at me and was like, these are state dollars. These are taxpayer dollars. And I said, do you know how many taxpayer dollars we have wasted on ideas in the past? We
Man.
gave a contract to a small company out of Phoenix to do $1.8 billion of software for DHHS that failed. It wasn't caught up in litigation because they couldn't get the job done. Like, and we gave them, I think, total about 30 million before we
Man.
realized it wasn't going to work. Like that's, I'm not saying that's a good investment. Some of that should have been vetted a little bit better, which is
Yeah.
what I hope DED does. But there are going to be some businesses in North Omaha that don't make it. That's okay. How do we get the next one started? How do we
Man.
keep it going? Because the difference between culture, our culture, and other people's cultures right now is they ain't afraid to fail.
Yeah.
Man.
That's true. We be feeling like we be feeling like we can't fail, and we forget that we forget that failure and learning is part of the process. You know.
Failure is a
Well,
failure is
go
a
ahead.
part of business.
Right.
Anybody
Right.
that goes to business school, you learn that most businesses don't make it, but that don't mean people don't try and keep investing in them.
That's right.
Most, I mean, again, we're talking about financial education, watching these podcasts, getting your education. You'll learn through watching that, through listening to billionaires speak that none of their first idea works. It never works the first time around. Like you almost have to fail. You almost have to Senator Wayne working. You almost have to fail to make things work, man. So yeah. And one thing I do want to mention as well, that I don't want to gloss over that Senator Wayne has said, as far as people meeting with the governor, trying to kind of speak against or say we need to do something different, than what you guys have put down.
But
And
that happened in the beginning where some people from North Omaha didn't want to be a part of the team and tried to backdoor the process, and North Omaha was only going to get 12 million if it wasn't for us.
man,
So
and so
Man,
I want
dude.
to speak to that process because it's not just this round. Like, can y'all please break down the future investment that you're trying to lay the foundation for the process, the doors that you're opening up for future investment from the state into these communities? It's not just this round, correct?
Right. So Senator McKinney was able to negotiate interest off of the prison, which will take 3 to 4 years to build, and then interest off of the canal. So we wanted the full interest, but we were able to negotiate for the next 3 years. So the reality is we're gonna put in over close to 475 to 500 million into North Omaha over the next 3 years, or East Omaha over the next 3 years. But the key to this is funding government programs is not the hard issue. It's starting them.
Mm.
Mm.
And so now that it's started, I see whoever the senators are from East Omaha every year being able to walk in and say, I just need another 30. I just need another 20. I just need another 10. Because once you in the budget, you in the budget. It's really, really hard to take stuff out of the budget.
Mm.
Interesting. Okay.
So again, I wanted to point that out, and I'm glad you broke that down for us, Senator Wayne, because I just don't think people are getting the full picture. People are feeling however they're feeling with this specific process, and maybe they didn't get their idea across, and they're just trying to sink the whole ship. When this is a foundation. This is opportunity to build. It's not just the end all be all silver bullet. If you miss it, then it's over. Like you're kind of. I feel like there's us shooting ourselves in the foot a little bit as far as a community aspect.
I,
but the
I would tell
crazy,
you, go ahead, Senator McKinney.
I'm just gonna say the crazy thing is between the city and the county, they had just pretty much the same money. Nobody holding them accountable to where all that went.
Mm,
Ooh.
Keep saying that everybody got all type of time for us and what we doing, but they don't keep the same energy for other levels of government. We've been the most transparent, and we've been the most trying to advocating for the community, fighting in these rooms to make sure it's done right. Like it's a lot of people being critical, but they ain't keeping the same energy.
Wow.
So, for example, let's just hit on talk real numbers. For example, the city of Omaha got 111 million, and Douglas County got 112 million. OPS got 311 million. So, right there, you're talking within the city of Omaha, you got 500 million that ARPA of true ARPA dollars that, by definition of ARPA, are supposed to hit the lowest income areas, the people who were most hurt by COVID, the people who had the most issues during COVID, and I think if you were to ask where all those dollars went, nobody could readily tell you. But when it comes to 531, everybody can tell you where the last penny is.
Man.
Message.
Man. Yeah, I mean we got to go on throw it up. Message going down.
What happened to
Bro.
chat?
Huh?
So you want to hop in the chat?
Yeah, I did want to hop in the chat, but I'm stuck on that point now for a minute.
I
That's
mean,
a whole lot of
but just think about that. Think about that. We got 200 million, and again, OPS over different funding had about 300 million. So we talking about educational outcomes. We talking about 200 million that can go into our parks, or all the things that ARPA housing, all the things that ARPA are used for. Um, and at the end of the day, I don't think we're making the impact by strategically aligning everything that we could. I mean, imagine if the city, county, and state all worked together. And it isn't like we weren't having those conversations. Let's be clear. We sat many meetings saying, what are y'all doing with your dollars so we can align? Now you're talking about we could have easily put $1 billion strategically into our community.
Now we're only talking about what, a third of that?
and they got a bunch of questions about that third.
Man.
That's crazy, man. Oh man. Yeah, I'm stuck on this. It's 8:22 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, I'll jump in the chat real quick before I know we got to let the senators go here in a minute. Amy H. Dot was saying, how is it? How we were talking about support earlier, how to build that infrastructure out. She said, how is that support built out? I heard that Spark helped some folks with their app. Yeah, that was some news to us when we had Brianna Full. We were talking to her one time, but a lot didn't know about the opportunity for the capacity. Also, it's unfair, but this is and will be more scrutinized than the rest of the city and state distribution, for real. Miss Erica Fell says some may not have had the money to succeed. Malik Rogers in the chat says your approach to people teaming up on their efforts is a start. We need to hold our own accountable through making sure they're receiving advisement, education, and stability coaching. Yeah, I would like to talk a little bit about that too, man. I'm really kind of thinking. I'm a little nervous about it too. I mean, you changed my head around, Brother Wayne, by saying we need to not be scared to fail, because you reminded me, failure is not really failure. It's an opportunity to course correct. It's an opportunity to grow and learn and do better. And us as a people, sometimes we get scared that we only got one shot at something and all that kind of stuff. So I'm changing my mind about that a little bit. But I also would like to see a little bit of support, especially for the newer folks that got good ideas that can come in and make something sustain as well. So is there anything in place for that? Is there any do we have any ideas for that, or is there something's already there?
So that's the crazy part. So part of this, I'm be a little too transparent. Part of the delay in getting money out is we requested a little break just to figure out some things. So here's why. The state got federal dollars called SSBCI, but Senator McKinney was pushing hard to make sure folks in East Omaha had that. Now, SSBCI money is small business something, 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 but it's about technical services to help small businesses build capacity. And McKinney was able to make sure that a North Omaha organization called Omaha 100 got at least, I think, $5 or $20 million over the next 4 to 5 years. I think it was between them and Julian Young and a couple other folks. But our thing was we don't want to pick winners and losers, but y'all need to have somebody in our community be a part of this.
Right.
So that was announced, I don't know what, 6-7 months ago, McKinney. And so we like, okay, we about to give hundred millions of dollars out. but SSBCI ain't up and running.
Mm.
So we need to make sure that the small businesses and the small projects have the ability to succeed, which McKinney was able to secure them dollars. How come that's not up and running? Like those should be working together. And so DED was like, "Oh, we working on this." We were like, "Well, hold on, let's everybody slow down, but let's make sure this is successful." Like, I want to get the money out the door as fast as we can too, but by changing it to state dollars, we ain't got to be in as big of a rush because we don't got that deadline. But let's make sure we got the SSBCI. Let's make sure that these contractors and these businesses are ready. So just like we met with y'all, we met with other people who I'm like, okay, let's make sure in the next 2 or 3 weeks, if y'all got this $1 million, 500,000, 10 million, y'all can actually start delivering. Because what's going to happen is DED's going to say, are y'all ready to go tomorrow? And most of the folks, I think, are going to say, well, kind of. Then what DED is going to do, I think, or just, and this is what happens naturally with government, they're going to play this game. And I don't think, I mean, I say game, but it's probably the right thing to do. We only going to give you 100,000 to do a planning grant. Then we want to make sure y'all come back with. So now we're talking about delaying it even farther, right?
Right.
So we trying to connect all the dots to make sure when you ask that question, well, where are the resources? I can say, well, here goes this. So make sure your application, you run it by them. Make sure y'all got some kind of relationship with them to give y'all the technical services. And what technical services is, so I use a trade as an example. If I'm a concrete layer, I'm really good at doing concrete, but I may not be good at doing the bids. I may not be good at invoicing, or I may not have time. So I need to work with somebody to help me build those strengths. And that's what those kind of technical services are. And so there's money out there that that's already been awarded through a completely different process. We just trying to figure out where they are in that process too.
Man,
interesting.
Accounting offices, project management offices, where are they at?
Man, lawyer services.
Man, big facts.
All the infrastructure that we had to learn about as we went on with it with the entrepreneurship. So yeah, I appreciate you breaking some of that down and saying, you know, talking about some of the things that were in place, and hopefully we can continue to talk about that because we're in that mode now. Like once money starts coming through, and things start happening, people are gonna need support on the back end of this too in order to make sure it sustains and we do the best we can to spend the money right. In chat, real quick, Amy H. Dot says, "What about North Omaha paying with increased utility bills due to sewer separation and rural cities not having to do the same? How is that injustice corrected?" That's interesting.
So there's a couple of things. A lot of the rural cities are paying at different things. Many of them have to use reverse osmosis because of their nitrate. They let's just say they got other issues that they gotta. Especially with the nitrates and everything out west, that they got other issues. But there is something that, you know, I think. No, I'm not running for OPPD board. Let me start with that.
Disclaimer.
But I think folks need to look at utilities and their bills and start asking a lot of questions, especially around how we got long-term contracts with Google, Facebook, and all them for their data centers, but all of our rates are going up.
Interesting. Write that down.
Yeah. Got a mole on that a little bit.
Brothers, we appreciate you, man. It's 8:28 right now. If you got if you believe in the concept of time, give us some last. First of all, did y'all see the melee on the? I gotta ask y'all about. Did you see the video with the chair?
The melee in Montgomery.
Yeah, that was dope. Really quick.
Say again.
Said they mobilized real quick, like the Avengers.
Look, bro. When the brother jumped in the water and swam to the fight, that was the one for me right there.
Regulators.
Mount up.
Hey, we stepped out of Johnny T's and we was talking to Bud, and I was like, man, we should do a charity fight. He said, let's go right now. I was looking for my chair.
Man.
I was like, hold on, bro. I ain't quite ready yet. And that's when Terrell tackled me right in front of Johnny T's, where I was, and nobody ran up to help me. So I was like, you know what? I'm too light skinned. I knew they wasn't going to help me.
Bro, I'm missing all the fun. I got to get out to Johnny T's with y'all for real. That's hilarious. We were talking a little bit about, you know, we don't normally talk about very sensational things like that melee, but it was kind of indicative of this idea that we're feeling like people are standing up and standing together a little bit more these days, just kind of in general, and that was kind of the he like Brother McKinney said, that was dope. Like people, you know what I'm saying? Like the Avengers came together on that. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that and just have a little laugh at the end. I mean, it's not we don't condone violence and all that good stuff and
Yes,
everything
ma'am.
else, but it was funny. It was just something that we all kind of laughed about. And I'm seeing meme after meme after meme about it everywhere.
Aquaman.
That chair, man. Even Precious McKesson said put a meme out saying if you don't get a seat at the table, then bring your chair. It's wild. But I encourage everybody to be the brother that swam up to the shore. That's when you swim up to the fight, then you know you for real. So that's what's it's all about. It's too funny. It just had us. It was just too funny. I'm sorry. It's just right there for us. Any last words? Anything coming up? Any more Johnny T excursions that I'm not gonna miss the next one of? I'd have had you back. I'd have had you back, Justin. I'd have been out there with you for. I said I'd have had you back. Like, don't be jumping on my man. Let's go, man. We'd have been out there. I don't know about Bud. I would be looking for a kid.
Hey, gotta be. Hey, don't sleep on Terrell either. That's Coach McKinney.
Bad.
You'd have been Facebook Live in it. Come on now. You wouldn't have helped me. You'd have been commentating.
You know me too well. You know me too well. Oh man, what's coming up that we need to be paying attention to and supporting, man?
Man, real talk. The parade's gonna be a big deal, man, and we gotta police ourselves.
Okay.
You know, all eyes is gonna be on us, and we gotta make sure we show up and do a good job.
Hear that?
There you go, brother. Rick Fulton was in the chat asking if it was gonna be safe. So, you know, if we make it safe.
If we make it safe, that's right.
Yeah.
For those of y'all that don't know, we're talking about Terrence Crawford's Victory Parade and Celebration Saturday, August 12th, 10 to noon. That's coming up this weekend. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about moving our content creators camp class to later on in the day so that we can make that parade and go ahead and give Bud his flowers on that too. Brother McKinney, you got any words of advice for us to what we should be looking for?
I would say we should all want everybody to win from North Omaha.
That part.
I think sometimes we're more critical of us than the people oppressing us. And I think we just gotta, look to see everybody win. I think if everybody win, we don't have to worry about the people coming in if we're economically independent. Because a lot of these questions I'm seeing in the chat goes back to us not being economically independent. But we all gotta look to try to make sure we all win as much as possible and not be as over critical of ourselves than of the oppressor.
I feel that very much so. Appreciate your time, gentlemen. We'll be talking to you soon. Thank you very much. You guys take it easy. We'll see you soon.
All right, y'all be easy.
Peace. Let's take a quick break. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Brother Senators Terrell McKinney, Justin Wayne. Put some respect on their names. This is First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, and brother senators, Terrell McKinney, Justin Wayne. Thanks for coming through, fellas. Appreciate that, man. It's always good to hear from those brothers, man. The chat was going off in a big way. So that's what's up. I really appreciate everybody that's jumped in there. As a matter of fact, I'll go back a little bit. Wanda Lewis says, why can't they do it like they do for the community development block grant programs? So apparently there's some programs there. If you get a block grant program and there's some programs that help you do what you're doing, that might be something interesting to look at as a model for what we can expect to or try to help with. What the money coming into some of these organizations from the ARPA funds. A little bit earlier in the chat, Malik Rogers says, you're right about that. Many of your peers at state shocked when I call asking about random funding, automatically assume I got the wrong office and looking for y'all. Interesting. And yeah, like they don't really know what's going on. And sometimes the senators, like it's like they only own sometimes out there for real.
Man.
People just don't know what's going on. Pop says it took 1,000 unsuccessful attempts before Thomas Edison created the light bulb. Failure can eventually lead to success. It absolutely does. It's absolutely a part of success. You got to course correct. Amy H. says, completely agree, Malik. There's a thin line between advisement and oversight with opportunity for failure. Yeah, that's something to look into. That oversight, I'm not really talking about oversight. I'm talking about more support than oversight. There's going to have to be some oversight, according to the senators on this. So very interesting stuff. Whitney's in the chat. I'm frustrated that the child care industry continues to be monopolized and pushed by OPS and their rich organizations, early childhood centers, free daycare. She was telling me about this on the content creators camp day Saturday about the monopolization of free childcare that is going on there from these organizations. She says, my organization, Safe Haven Community Center and Safe Haven Early Childhood Preschool Education Academy, has provided family support, job readiness, housing, education, tutoring, and advocacy services for 24 years. Hundreds of daycares are still being forced out because it's hard to get children in our business because of these free daycares. Nothing is being done to stop it. I'm now having to sell my properties and find somewhere else to go because of the monopoly. My organization and business was forerunner for many years that others have now duplicated and being supported. Long-standing businesses like mine and others are not supported.
Yeah.
We appreciate your testimony on that as well. And it's unfortunate. We see a lot of that kind of thing happening as far as these big organizations coming in and monopolizing the situation that way and shutting down mom and pop shops, man. And even not just mom and pop shops, but bigger organizations too. Like Miss Easter has several locations, so it's unfortunate. But Wanda Lewis says, help people get started. You don't keep feeding into it to give others a chance. Yeah. Still speaking on what the 1024 money going to certain organizations that exist already or new ones and the kind of support that is needed there. Also, Brother Knight says some of us are finally realizing what we're up against. Very true. Wanda Lewis says, draw a line. Some of these nonprofits, let them create ways to fund themselves.
It's interesting.
It is, instead of just depending on that nonprofit dollar, that nonprofit check every time. But depends on the nature of the nonprofit.
Man, a little further up, that woman also chiming in on Sister Easter's point about the monopolization of the childcare industry. She says that this is my first time ever having a difficult time filling spots. I still have 4 openings. So, yeah, man. Yeah. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Actually, during my time back in Omaha, I ran into a couple of my daycare providers, like people who, again, worked in daycares that I grew up in. And luckily, those places are still open. But, I do think about them when I hear these things from, Sister Easter and that woman as far as what's going on. I would definitely like to see more collaboration and competition. That's what we're all about. Yeah. Collaboration, teamwork definitely makes the dream work.
It's got to be that.
Yeah, no need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. Rose Review says hit the like button. Yes, please do that. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button. We're trying to get 500 subscribers there. Also, Brooke has a good suggestion. She says have your content creators cover the parade for the class that day.
I was looking at that.
I like the idea. I think that'd be an extracurricular activity there. I'll let people know if they want to come out and use some of the skills that they learned from Keatron last week on how to conduct interviews. Then maybe come to the parade and talk to a few folks and bring back an interview. But we want to keep on with our curriculum too. So I'm thinking about trying to have that that class a little later on the day for everybody who wants to make the parade that day. But we'll work it out. We're actually going to work that out today. So stay tuned on that. Like I said, go ahead and put your register for the class, and then you'll get the newsletter that'll let you know when and where and what's going on there each week. And I'll put that in there as soon as I grab it again. Going on in the chat a little bit further down, Malik Rogers says, good portion of this ongoing chaos in Black Omaha is due to the fear of others seeing us disagreeing. So we let the shenanigans keep going. We need to change that. Enough smoke for everybody. I definitely think there's a way that we can all talk about it and come to, and work things out together for sure. And not really paying too much attention to what the outside world has to say about it. But yeah, coming together. I mean, getting together and collaborating and creating something and organizing. It's a messy process, and it'll just have to be messy until it's not. So we can't not do it because it'll be messy. We just have to kind of go through the mess, man, and make it happen. So yeah. I agree with that. Glish says, please change the time of the class to 1 o'clock so we can come after the parade. Yeah, we're working on that. I think we're going to change the time. I don't know what time we're going to change it to yet. It depends on the space that we can do it in. But we'll let you know, Miss Easter, for sure. Miss Erica Fell says, this is my first time ever having a difficult time feeling. Yeah, that's what you already read that one. Also, Rome's Review says, bigger organizations don't shut down mom and pop places. It's the customers that shopping at them and go spend money with the bigger companies. Very true.
Big facts. Big facts. So with that said, please, if you have any little ones that need daycare, need somewhere to go while you at work, please check out Miss Erica Feld's space. Or she says she cannot sustain without filling these last 4 spots. So let's help the sister out.
Yeah, man. Let's do it as much as we can. I mean, no shame. It's hard to turn down free when you can't afford it, when it's hard to afford. So, hopefully you recognize the value there, though, that going to somebody like Miss Erica's play school is not just watching your kids, but watching your kids with care and provide some education and then closer knit family that you can be in, that you are leaving your kids with, instead of some of these bigger organizations that, yeah, they may be free, but who's watching them? Who's, what I'm saying? Where's the staff at? What's their motivation? Their motivation may not be, neighborhood wellness. So, just keep it in mind, do what you can do. Also, there was another one that I was going to grab, but I think I lost it. Yeah. But we appreciate everybody who's jumping out there in the chat, having these conversations, for sure. And yeah, I can see a couple more people talking about the content creators class, clashing with the parade. Like I said, we'll try to put that a little later on in the day, and depends on where we can do it. But just stay tuned on that. We'll send out a newsletter that's going to talk about what's going to happen Saturday. But I do think I'd like to move it and not clash with the parade for sure.
Yeah. But really quick, I do want to jump into one comment before we jump into these last few articles before we get out of here.
Yep.
That woman responding to Mayor Sanchez Rome's review, saying, exactly, it's difficult to compete with the larger nonprofits having millions to push the narrative that they're better, when in fact children are being shortchanged, our future affected. So definitely, even though this is there was the theme of last season, following the money, who's bankrolling these facilities, who's paying for some of these things. So
right.
Definitely keep that in mind. And actually, that's what I want to, set up for the next article, continuing to follow the money. If that's all right with you, Paul, jumping into the rest of this news.
Yeah. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, man, because we have to continue following the money. Who's investing in what, especially when it comes to our children. Again, not just these facilities, but again, remember this battle still going on about opportunity scholarships and where is that money coming from? Again, one of the main things that I saw when I was in Omaha last month were these people asking for petitions, these petition signers, and they were everywhere, man. Grocery stores, out on the street, they were everywhere. But understand, a little aggressive. Yes, a little aggressive. But understand, they're not doing this for free. They're just not out there. Somebody is paying them to do this. This money, these people are coming from somewhere. The money is coming from somewhere. Who is investing in these things? And that definitely will tell you a lot about some of the motive behind it. Again, spending to rescind a new school choice law in Nebraska, along with expenditures to retain it, have topped now $2 million, according to the most recent state campaign spending reports. The bulk of the money came from two sources. teachers unions that oppose school choice laws, and an organization backed by former Trump administration official Betsy DeVos that promotes use of state funds for private and parochial education. The reports, which covered up to July 26th, so it could be even higher, indicated that Support Our Schools, which is a group seeking to place a referendum on the Opportunity Scholarships Act, had raised over $1.3 million and spent more than $1.2 million on this petition. The referendum drive has set a goal of collecting 90,000 signatures of registered voters in Nebraska, and it must submit about 61,000 valid signatures by the deadline of August 30th in order to, again, reach success. And I think last episode, somebody in the chat was asking, as far as when we talk about these petitions, how do you gauge success, and what is the barometer for success for these? They were asking, is it money? Is it the number of signatures? And I would say both, because again, it takes money to pay the people to go out to get the signatures. It's kind of hard to just ask people to volunteer and go out and spend their time to get signatures, without them fully understanding, the issue and really being passionate about it, and this, that, and the third. That's few and far between. As we've seen, the successful signatures, just like with Ricketts and his mom and the whole family with the voter ID situation, it takes money to get these things across. So again, where is this money coming from? Keep in mind these organizations and their names: Support Our Schools. I'm not sure who they are, but let's definitely look into them. Also, meanwhile, an organization called Keep Kids First, they're also urging Nebraskans to decline to sign. So they are on the opposite side. They reported raising $746,000. So not as much money through the late July to oppose the signature drive. They reported spending about $582,000 of those funds. So. Again, some of the funds are being spent to employ quote unquote blockers who shadow petition circulators and attempt to discourage people from signing, which we've already reported that some of these clashes have, led to physical altercations. Also, State Senator Luann Linehan of Elkhorn, who's actually the sponsor of the act, says we do need to be where they are because they are not being honest when they ask people to sign. Again, alluded to some of the confusion that's going on out there. But again, regardless of what side that you fall on as far as how you feel about this whole act and this whole situation, again, I know a lot of our chat chambers are divided. Please look into where the money is coming from, and again, who's investing and why.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Erica Felt, who put that in Friends of First Sky Omaha as a way to look at where some of these dollars are coming from and really follow the money on that. Will really kind of tell you like who's behind some of these efforts. So appreciate that very much for you putting that in that. If you have any ideas or you run across any articles that's really relevant to some of the things that we talk about here on the show, definitely put them in Friends of First Sky Omaha. We look there when we're looking at topics that we're going to talk about during the shows for sure. So really appreciate that very much. Lots going on in the chat. Again, Ms. Wanda Lewis says the private schools, the funds that would become available before the student due to a wait list students. That's interesting. There's definitely wait lists when it comes to private schools that should be considered as well. Also, Malik Rogers says, do your own research. Neither side is 100% honest. When issue says their centers in schools are not educating our kids. I have been out there exposing the lies of the schools, unions, and asking parents to decline to sign. I support Keep Kids First. So we got some people in the chat that are supporting some of these organizations. It's even more important now to make sure we're looking into them, seeing where they get the money from, following the money with them, and seeing what they believe. And of course, this is a hot topic with us here on First Sky Omaha because, like Buddy said, the chat chimers are divided on this issue here, and the best we can do is really kind of find the facts, follow the money, and then everybody make the decisions on their own on this particular subject. So, yeah, appreciate Miss Erica Fell for bringing that article out and getting into it.
Yeah. Just about 10 minutes left, so we're going to keep it moving and continue to follow the money. This time looking at the $110 million that's being invested into the Mental Health Center for Youth that's set to break ground in Omaha. Again, this will be in addition to the Children's Hospital campus. And this is the big thing that's jumping out to me. Again, an official groundbreaking was recently held on Friday for the Pediatric Mental Health Center, which is set to bring just 38 beds, 38 inpatient beds, and amount supporters said more than doubles the area's capacity. So it is doubling the capacity, but I don't know. $110 million for 38 beds isn't quite. I don't know. Something in my mind isn't. That's not adding up. You would think there would be more beds, or you feel like $110 million can help more than 38 people
Well,
if spent in another way.
I'm hoping that they spend some of that money on some program, on some not programming, but on some mental health and staff to, you know what I'm saying, like more than just housing them somewhere. Maybe it's paying for meds. We don't know what it's paying for, really.
Well, according to this article from the Nebraska Examiner, some of the features, in addition to the 38 beds, to your point, is a special experimental kitchen for youth and families dealing with eating disorders. So there's that. Also, 14,000 square foot for general outpatient therapy. So some sort of outpatient therapy, and a crisis screening and stabilization assessment hub, and that organizers said will be the first of its kind. Accordingly, regionally, the array of services set to rise on 7-acre lot just west of the main hospital will help meet what organizers described as an urgent need, as suicide and related mental health problems have climbed, especially since the pandemic, and especially in our youth. So to your point, there I guess will be some other facilities and other resources and things like that. So I don't know. Hopefully this will help. But again, still a little what's the word I'm looking for? Skeptical, if you will, about more beds, more meds, as you said.
In a test kitchen.
Yeah, man. So what say you?
Yeah, let us know what you think about that one in the chat. Definitely, we're keeping up with this and keeping up with how many facilities is being a bunch of money's getting thrown when it comes to the youth.
Mind you, the what was it? The Rise facility was just built behind the Walmart on Ames.
Oh, was that Rise?
Yeah, that's another youth mental health facility, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Right.
lots of them. Do we need them? Do we need them? Is that what's going on with the kids these days? That's what's happening?
I think UNMC is expecting to build another one as well.
Okay.
I heard like $84 million price tag for that one.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, more beds, more beds.
Jails, right?
Man, that part too. Man, I've driven past that kid jail a couple times while I was down in Omaha, and there's still a lot of questions about that. I don't even think that's ready to be open, and there's still a lot of skepticism and issues with that as far as capacity. Of course, it's under capacity. Again, I think there's a shortage of 20 or so beds. That we will lose from moving from the current DCYC to that new facility. So still a lot of questions about what's going on with our youth, what type of services, resources are out there for them, and also keep in mind, I'm wondering, do you have to have a case, to get some of these services as well? We still have to ask these questions.
That's the thing too. Appreciate everybody who's jumping in the chat on that. Gwenisha says, I know mental health is a problem in our communities, but we need to make sure our kids are not being labeled and used to these hospitals, and nonprofit mental illness organizations can get money for their facilities and staff.
Yep.
We know it costs a lot of money to be able to do some of these programs. We know that some of the programs work, some of them don't. It's all kind of a matter of the individual person that's trying to be helped. And I know there's a whole lot of beds and meds going on with this too, and not all of us are in agreement that that's the answer either. So that's tough. Malik Rogers says it's all about the money. Patients need is just the story to get the money. Von Chapman in the chat. What's up? What's going on, brother Chapman? He says, looking at the reasons for failure in my early days in Silicon Valley, financial support from the community, consumer was the problem. Although there is money coming in to initiate business, where is the money coming from to support the business to support the businesses? Does the community have money to support the new and emerging businesses? Without money coming from the community to support the business, failure is inevitable. Going back to the talk that we had with the senators there, very good point, man. We can do a startup, but who's gonna come buy our stuff? If our whole community's broke, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Really depends on the nature of the business that you're opening as well. But he's right. Who's going to sustain that? Does your plan include the whole of Omaha, or are you just opening up a business for your North Omaha and South Omaha brothers? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of questions there. So I think this time around they were really kind of trying to bring this out for the infrastructure reasons. For it to help businesses start businesses that are going to be hiring people and providing jobs and so on and so forth. So like I said, best we can though. If there's going to be some failure, it's just inevitable. It's just what happens in business in general. So, but you're right, man. In an economically depressed area, who's going to help pay for things? Who's going to frequent your business? Wanda Lewis says a recent article stated that DHHS doesn't have the knowledge and standards to handle youth mental health issues. That's scary. All while everyone wants to profit using executives and not mental health professionals. They want to use executives and not mental health professionals.
There you go.
Pretty scary. Miss Erica Felt, I do know there is a need for outpatient child mental health services. I worry about lockup mental health services. Personal experiences in the 80s let me know that can be more than damaging to the child. So that's what I'm worried about too. We say how many more beds, this closely associated to the child jails that they're being built as well. And they can be under this guise of mental health facilities. But if you're just locking them up and giving them meds, then it sounds like jail. And that doesn't sound great either, but something needs to be done.
Yeah, definitely. So there you go. And kind of wrap this up. Something, I guess someone is doing something else in regards to stepping up, especially in the face of the violence. Apparently in June alone, there were about 13 non-fatal shootings and 4 homicides. And as KETV Channel 7 reports, there's a nonprofit who held an event to, again, support the youth and spread information. Again, a summer spike in violence is causing a lot of pain in North Omaha specifically, as this article reads. For North Omaha Community Partnership, Community Fun Day is not just for recreation. It is all about installing a sense of pride and respect for your home. Definitely an energy that I felt during Omaha days, and hope that will continue to move throughout the year, throughout the community. Tamika Meese, who we actually had on the show, the executive director of North Omaha Community Partnership, says even in the midst of tragedy and violence and everything negative that occurs within our community, we still want to love on each other. We still want to uplift each other and empower each other. So that's definitely the narrative that I would rather push. Also, Johnny Chavez, who's a sponsor of the event, says to do something positive to keep our kids out of trouble. This annual event is meant to inspire and stand as a contrast to another yearly occurrence in these neighborhoods. The threat of shootings and violence is never too far off here. So again, doing something positive for the community. Chavez also went on to say all the violence, it's disheartening. It's sad. We got to keep moving, and we have to stick together and love on one another. So again, a message of love being pushed. So definitely shout out to Sister Meese and all the work that she's doing. Again, this event gave away about 1,500 book bags for kids going back to school. Education, support, and sense of unity, they say, is the key to thriving communities.
Okay, I was wondering who was behind this particular thing here. So good article with some facts in it about what actually has been going down with the violence in our area. And you can contrast that to what some other people are saying about the lack of violence and stuff going on here and how things have slowed down. Really doesn't feel like it. Really doesn't feel like it in a lot of ways. So there's still work to be done. So shout out to them for doing that work. We got about 2 more minutes here before we get out of here. We will jump into a couple of haps real quick. If Buddy, y'all finished up over there? You done?
Yeah, that's it. The only thing I got left is the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop.
Oh yes, we got to talk about that, man. For those of you that don't know who Amir Locke is, you'll have to look into this. Direct connection to Omaha, Nebraska. As a matter of fact, Sherman Wells, who we've had on the show, family, cousin, and was a victim of a botched no-knock warrant. Police ran into the house and basically killed this man in his sleep in Minneapolis a few years back. Direct connection to Omaha, Nebraska. Huge ABC documentary coming out on police violence, and his story is going to be in there. What did you see on this story, brother, that you were excited about this coming to fruition?
Well, of course, the trailer. I watched the trailer when I actually saw you post it on Facebook. So you can't find the trailer on the Friends of First Sky Omaha page. The trailer is powerful. I've been, when I was in Omaha, went to brother Johnny No Good. He had an event where he gave a powerful demonstration and recited a powerful poem about Amir Locke. Say his name, Amir Locke. Again, say his name. Definitely a powerful thing. Of course, meeting with brother Sherman Wells, going to a few of his events, hearing about this. And then what really struck me about this Omaha connection to this story is the Vivian Strong unveiling. Because keep in mind, Sherman Wells is Vivian Strong was his cousin.
Right.
Amir Locke was also his cousin. So you have one cut, like over the course of 60 years, the same tragedy is still happening to the same family.
Right.
You got one cousin that was taken by the police in Omaha in the 60s, and now you got another cousin that was taken by the police in Minneapolis here in the 2000s, the 21st century. So again, to still be dealing with the same issue 60 years later, the same family, like you got to understand what that might mean for that family. Like again, still
Right.
more. So yeah, definitely shout out to the Strong family, shout out to the Locke family, shout out to brother Johnny No Good, brother Sherman Wells, their families, all the families that's dealing with this. I'm expecting this to be a very, very powerful documentary, available on Hulu very soon.
Yep, we'll be talking about a little bit more on Wednesday. We're going to get out of here. It's about 9:01 right now. We're sorry for running a little late past the time. We don't believe in the concept of time, but we do believe in the concept of agreements. And we're going to run a tad bit late today, so I hope that you stick with us and before we get out of here. So first and foremost, we just want to make sure that we give a shout out to the legend now, brother Terrence Bud Crawford. There's a victory parade celebration we've been talking about during the whole show. Saturday, August 12th, 10 to noon. We'll definitely be supporting him. It's going to be at 19th and Farnham, and the celebration is going to be around the Gene Leahy Mall there. So the city is putting this on. Let's give Bud his flowers, and let's check ourselves. Like the senators were saying, let's police ourselves, make sure everything's going to be cool. All eyes, the whole world will be on us right now, really, because of the power of this man's win and what the kind of intention that they put on Omaha, Nebraska. So shout out to Bud Crawford, and we'll see him out there during the victory parade and celebration August 12th from 10 to noon. Speaking of 10 to noon, our content creators camp 2023 was going to be for the next 11 Saturdays from 10 to noon, but this coming up Saturday, we're probably going to move that date, that time, until later in the day so we can make that parade and give Bud Crawford his flowers. So if you have not signed up for this yet, please do so. I'll go ahead and put that the link in the chat for you as well, so that we can really you can go ahead and sign up and get registered. And when you do, what'll happen is you'll get a email address. I'm sorry, you'll get a letter in your email box that'll tell you exactly where we're going next, what's going to happen there next, and what time and what place and all that. So if I can find this thing, I will get it to you, and then you'll be able to register for that and get your email address happening. So yeah, sorry, bear with me for a minute. There it is, right there. Got it. All right, cool. So yeah, please do me if you're interested in what's going on with this content creator cap. Let us know, and go ahead and sign up for that. That'd be great to see you there. And like I said, we got about another 11 weeks of a training for this. So sign up there and start getting that newsletter now. And we'll be talking to you very soon about next classes that are coming up. So it'll be very, very interesting, very fun. Tomorrow over the Benson Theater, there's an event called Community Networking Happy Hours. It's happening from 3 to 7. Doing some really good community networking there too, man. Making some deals and all kinds of stuff going on there. So come by Benson Theater. We call it the front room. That's where the lobby and the bar is, in the front room there. And then come by and listen to some music. I think Michelle Troxler was DJing last week.
Okay.
Foxy Troxy. And we're having a good time. So this is a good kind of networking thing that's going on. If you're in the area there, show up 3 to 7 on Tuesday at Business Theater for the Community Network Happy Hours. Classy cocktails, crafty mocktails in a classy joint. So come on through and see what's going on. And then also, there's also a show coming up you need to get your tickets for now. It's going to sell out. Six Guns Running. This is by our own local playwright, Bofield Berry. This show was called Buffalo Women before, so I'm sure you saw the hype from Buffalo Women. It's now renamed Six Guns Running, and it's happening August 18th, 19th, and 20th. Go to bensontheater.org and get your tickets for this. It's definitely one that you do not want to miss. So also mark your calendars, because shout out to IB Black Girl for bringing Angela Davis as their keynote speaker. This is October 27th. Put it on your date. Put it on your calendar there, man. You never know, like, how many more times you're gonna be able to see Sister Davis speak. I'm sure she'll keep going till she can't go no more. But if she's coming to Omaha and you have an opportunity to hear this legend speak, then I would definitely suggest you do that. Check out IB Black Girl and put this on your calendar. Keynote speaker Angela Davis, the legend, on October 27th.
There you go, man. That's huge. The biggest. That's huge. Also, a really quick shout out. I just saw Lacey posted on Facebook. She says Amber will be on Good Morning America today, promoting the musical The Wiz and their podcast. So yeah, shout out to Lacey Lamar, Amber Ruffin, getting down as always. Support. Check out the Good Morning America, getting down.
Little event that's happening over at Benson Theater with them. They're doing a little raising of some funds for a big project, man. So shout out to them. I can't wait to see her on Good Morning America and see what she's got to say on that. So that's what's up. Appreciate that. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. I'll try to answer your questions when we get off the air here, but I want to let everybody go on about their day. It's 9:06 already. If you believe in the concepts of time, go ahead.
Really quickly, I see Brother Von Chapman coming in last second with a question. Yes, brother. He says, does your content creator program have an emphasis on investigative journalism? Yes, there will be a whole class purely dedicated towards investigative journalism, solutions journalism, documenting. It's all in there. So definitely come through. Check us out.
All right. Now, look, I said I was going to answer the questions when we got off the air. Now, don't let me swim across the lake on you and jump. You know what?
Because I got my chair. I got my chair now.
Luther said a chair is still a chair. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for everybody who joined us today. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Man, love, peace to everybody, man. Thank y'all for coming through. Thanks for everybody for chiming into the chat, letting your mind be free, and most importantly, letting your voice be heard. Big shout out to the senators of the dynamic duo. Brother Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne. Put some respect on their names. Got to say the whole thing. So yeah. Until next time, man, y'all take care of each other. And in the meantime, in between time, Paul B.
Yo.
Take it away.
Thanks to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Thanks to our elders for allowing us to speak before them. Thanks to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you. Thank you very much for all of your comments today. Very deep thoughts and great discussion. It's always good. Please tell a friend. If you've missed any parts of this show, you can check it out in its entirety by going to the Facebook page or the YouTube page, especially the YouTube page. Go ahead and and subscribe over there on YouTube. And check it out, man, and read the chats when you do, because it's very interesting to dig into the chats and find out what people are talking about as well. So thank you very much for joining us, and thank you very much to all the reoccurring members and sponsors of the channel as well. The $10 people, the $25 people, $50 a month people that are supporting this whole effort and the efforts of us doing our content creator classes that are becoming up. Again, if you have not registered for this, we highly encourage you to do so. Here's the link one more time. Go ahead and do that. That can put you on our email list, and we'll be telling you week to week where we're going to be at, what we're going to be talking about, and what we're going to be doing. And so definitely do that. And again, thank you very, very, very much for everybody that showed up to this on Saturday. It turned out really well. Very happy with how this is going so far, and can't wait to do more. So with that said, between time, take care of yourself. We'll see you Wednesday. We got a couple special guests coming on that I'm working on as well. So stay tuned for a deep show on Wednesday as well here on First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Love it, love it, love it. We'll see you. Take care of yourselves.
Peace.
By the way, Van Glorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green.